Hey, how's it going everyone? Today I'm going to be working on my Ficus benjamina. As you can see by the foliage here, it's got some kind of problem. I believe it's root rot because the soil isn't really well draining and it's been pretty wet the last few days. So today I'm going to be trimming up all the damaged foliage just in case it is some kind of virus or fungus or something. And I'm also going to be completely bare rooting it and repotting it in some more free draining bonsai soil. I'm going to start off by removing all of the damaged foliage on the tree, just in case it is some kind of virus or something. It doesn't spread to healthier parts of the tree. I'm just going to leave only healthy foliage on here. It's also important to note that I'm disinfecting my tools before and after this process, so that if this is some kind of contagious illness or something, it doesn't spread to any of my other trees on accident. Okay, now that we got all of the damaged foliage removed, I'm just going to dispose of it, and next we're going to take it out of the pot. So I'm going to start by loosening it up with this little shovel here. Now I'm going to take off the top layer of rocks. and loosening it up again. Getting a little deeper this time, not the rocks are out of the way. Now that it's loose, I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. And it doesn't actually look that bad. It doesn't actually look like there's a whole lot of root rot going on immediately from what you can see here. But I'm still going to go ahead and move it into better bonsai soil anyway. And now I'm going to rake out the soil gently around the base of the tree. Now you can see there's one big giant root there that's dominating the tree, so I'm gonna have to deal with that eventually, but first let's finish raking out the soil. Just gently trying to get out as much of the soil as I can without harming as many roots as possible. I'm just going to get rid of some of the excess soil that I've raked out. And there's still quite a bit of soil left in the roots, so I'm going to try to get out as much out as I can by gently loosening it with my fingers here instead of using the metal tools, just so that I preserve as much of the roots as possible. I want to get out everything that I can from here because I suspect that the moisture level in this pot is part of the reason why the tree is suffering. Since there's still quite a bit of soil left in the roots, I'm going to go back to the metal tools and try to get out a bit more. Now I'm switching to the underside of the tree, trying to, again, rake out radially from the center to keep the nice radial roots, and only damage the ones that are crossing and not growing radially. Again, still trying to be gentle to preserve as many as possible. And now I'm washing the roots off with some water to get out any of the fine particles that are stuck in between the roots. And here you can see the tree with the roots bare, and I can see more what I'm talking about with that big root off to the side that's basically dominating the entire tree. So I'm going to go ahead and deal with that today. Now you can see, even with that one big root there, it still is a pretty nice radial root base. There's a lot of fine radial roots. They're all coming in nice directions. It's really just that one big bulbous root there that needs to be addressed. And then the other ones just need a trim. So I'm going to start the root pruning by just gently trimming the longer feeder roots, just so nothing comes up against the edge of the pot when I put it back in. You can see like that big root where it hit the edge of the pot and started to curve, and you can see the other dangling roots are clearly longer than the pot is deep. So I want to make sure that nothing is going to be hitting the edge of the pot and then have free room to grow once I put it back in. And now I'm just taking some of the roots in the middle of the tree that were growing straight down, just taking those off because I don't want those to thicken up. I want every root to be splaying out radially from the base of the tree. Nothing growing straight down, nothing growing in funny directions, just everything nice and radial. So now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with this big giant root. What I ended up deciding to do is to just cut it off as close as I could to the root base, or to the base of the tree, and cut it at an angle and carve it up to make it look a little better, so that when hopefully more roots grow out of the cut point, some smaller feeder roots will grow on the top of the scar and eventually cover it up. That's what my hope is anyway. So now I'm going to go in with the finer pruners and carve it up and try to make it in the best position possible for future growth. Basically what I'm trying to do is cut the big bulbous part of the root to an angle where it would look more natural with the flow of the roots. So instead of it being this 90-degree curve and then a big long straight root, it's a more gradual slope down into the soil. You can see I'm also working on that other bigger root too, just so it doesn't take off and replace that big bulbous one with an equally bulbous root. Just to give you an idea of how fast those bulbous roots can develop, I actually repotted this tree this summer in June or July maybe. So it's only been a few months, and that big giant root was not there when I potted it up this summer, so they grow very fast. And I think that about does it for the root pruning here. Again, I was surprised that there wasn't more root rot. I thought there would be more evidence of that, but oh well. Now I'm gonna wash it off and get it put back in its pot with some better soil. And I just realized there's a couple of leaves that I should have been removing that have some damage on them, so I'm just gonna go ahead and clean those up before I forget, and then we'll get on to potting up the tree. And here's the soil mix I'm going to be using today. It's basically 50-50 turfus or fuller's earth and perlite, so it should be nice and free draining to prevent any future water problems. And I'm going to start by putting in some screens to prevent the soil from falling out the holes. And now I'm going to put a base layer of soil in the pot. And now I can put the tree in and get it adjusted to where I want it to sit once it's planted. So now that it's about where I want it, I'm going to go ahead and pour some more bonsai soil in and start packing it into the roots. I'll try to get out as many air pockets as possible. And now I'm just making sure to push down the soil into any air pockets that might be under the base of the tree, just to make sure it has a really firm planting in the soil. And now I'm going to top it up with some sand. I decided to go with sand this time rather than the rocks again, because I think the sand is a little bit better at helping you tell when the soil's dry. So hopefully that'll be another thing that will help me prevent this tree from getting overwatered in the future. And now I'm going to give it some water. You want to really give the planting a good watering after putting in this kind of soil, especially when it's fresh and dry, because it does take a bit of time to soak up all the water and get rid of all the dusty particulate. So you want to rinse out all of the fine particles and also completely soak up your turfus and perlite with all the water they can absorb. And now the watering lifted up some of the perlite from underneath the sand, so I'm just going to take that out just to clean it up a little bit. And topping it up with just a tiny bit more sand to fill in those holes that I left. And here is the final tree. Now this tree was looking pretty sick, so I'm hoping that this operation helped turn it around. And if you want to find out how it does in the future, don't forget to like and comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.